trying to move the camera so you don't see all this glare in my glasses. I don't feel like taking them off. These glasses are amazing. What do you guys think? Oh, if I'm closer, it's much better. Welcome guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nikia. You guys know me as Beauty Cutright. Welcome to this channel. This is where I talk all about fitness, health, stress management. And what I do is I help women change their lifestyle so they can change their bodies, live a better quality of life. It's not all about just weight loss, but just living a new lifestyle that helps you get to the fitness and health goals that you want. So I just completed a live coaching session. So if you are not a part of the group, this is where you can get a chance to be a part of the 30-day challenge. So when you listen to this video, I want you to look down below. There's going to be some links that would help you and guide you into what you need to know to be a part of the group and get some coaching from me. So I am coaching these women, and they are a wonderful group of women. There's over 100 of them in this group, so we're all very motivated, and you are actually going to be listening to a podcast style, so you won't see our faces or anything, but you will hear the information that I'm talking about. I'll make sure that down below there is information where you are able to read through what the 5 steps, the 5 things you need to remember or reminders when it comes to losing excess body fat. That's what I say, especially in the stomach area, because that's where our issue is. So yeah, just take a seat, or if you're cleaning or doing anything around the house, just listen. That's all it is. You don't have to sit and watch for any information. Just listen and learn, and I hope this helps you out. But just make sure after you listen to the video, look down below for more information and how you can join, be a part of the next 30-day challenge, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's listen. You guys a better clue of it. So can everybody see my screen? I'm sharing my screen now.
Yes.
That means everyone. So just keep in mind, everything is being recorded so that I can put it right onto YouTube and make sure that you guys can see it and go through it again. Let's do presentation style because it's so much easier. Oh, my knee hurts. So you've heard of these reminders, and I'm going to get real specific about how you can flatten your stomach. Okay? So this is the actual order to achieve this method, because honestly, your workouts and your diet is causing you to lose your love handles first before your front section, correct? Guys, that's where y'all looking at, is your front section. Like, why does that still seem extended? One, I want you guys to understand that we are humans and we are supposed to bloat. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with bloating. However, it does give you an indication if something needs to be changed, or if it's just a hormonal imbalance because we're women and we have so many hormones that is supposed to create life. It could be you just ate something. It could be food. So keep in mind, being bloated all the time is a problem, but every once in a while, don't look at it as like you're not getting where you need to go. Okay, the best way to notice less bloating is when you first wake up. That is your indicator of where you are. So if you are looking at yourself throughout the day and you feel like a harpoon whale, it's because you've had water and you've been drinking and you've been active. And I don't mean drinking like alcohol, but I'm talking about water, things that your body needs, and your body is just responding to intake of that. So first indicator is when you wake up in the morning and you take a piss and a shit. That's what my mom says. It's like, take a piss and a shit, you'll be fine. You'll see. But usually, even after, once you wake up,
That fan blowing.
yeah, that's your indicator.
What do you think about
When you wake up and you're having, or if you wake up and you're bloated, there's 2 reasons why that's happening. You're either eating too late before you go to bed, or you have a food allergy. So first step when it comes to flattening your belly is we have to find out where the inflammation is coming from. What's the cause of inflammation? Because a lot of times we as women think we're fat in that area and we're extended in that area because our digestive system is extended, it's inflamed. So it has something to do with what you're eating and when you're eating. Does that make sense? You don't have to be too close to bed.
At the door.
You try not to. Oh, no, nobody hears me.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. So inflammation, correct that first. Pay attention to what you're eating before you go to bed, and make sure it's not causing that food. It's not causing you to be bloated first thing in the morning. It's an extended belly because whatever you're eating, you may have allergen to, or your body doesn't digest it well. It could be one of those two. Water weight and belly fat can come back and forth. Once inflammation is down, then there's either belly fat or water weight. And the reason why I say there's an or in that is because most of the time we look at the scale and we're losing this excess weight and we see the scale going down and we think it's belly fat or excess body fat. It is body fat all over your body, but it may more so be the water weight first. And then when you see those fluctuations on your scale, that's water weight, not fat. So that's why I say it's either or. Your body is going to choose which one it wants to get rid of first. And in most cases, it may be water weight. And in some cases, it may be belly fat, but you think it's water weight. Does that make sense? Because you're retaining water, but your body is losing the excess belly fat. It just doesn't look like it because you're actually retaining water. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the order is pay attention to what's causing you to bloat first thing in the morning. If that's happening quite often, check what you're eating and what time you're eating. Know that if the scale changes up and down, it's either water weight or belly fat that's coming off, or body fat is probably the best way to say it. That all comes from diet, as I've mentioned before. And then there's an issue with loose skin. Who's afraid of it? No, I am.
I am.
Don't be afraid to say that you're afraid of it.
I'm not afraid. It just depends on what area it is in.
That's me. I would say the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, what area?
Don't nobody want to hang at the bottom.
Yeah.
If your stomach is heavier at the bottom, then you get it flat and again flapping. That's gross.
So loose skin can be remedied. One, the reason why we're doing this in 30-day increments is because
You out there yelling and on.
trying to lose weight, the less likely you'll have to deal with loose skin. The reason why is because you're giving your body, your skin, time to adjust to the weight loss so that it tightens back up. But because most of us is over 35.
I'm 15.
You still have to deal with some form of loose skin. So we may be confusing loose skin for excess belly fat, when it could be loose skin that has water weight to it. Can this be remedied? Yes, there's two ways you can do it. You need to take collagen, or if this is a personal choice, skin surgery.
No surgery.
No surgery.
Nobody wants surgery. So,
Okay, guys,
100%
look.
collagen.
I've been taking this. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah, can y'all see? Oh, can we make her bigger?
Peptides.
Okay, collagen, peptide.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now I've been taking this because my foot bothers me a lot because I like to run on the treadmill, but my foot flares up. I think I have plantar fasciitis. I'm assuming.
Plantar fasciitis. Yeah.
But this really helps. It also helps with the knees and things. I got my mom taking it too because she has bad knees. But it really works. But it helped with your hair, your skin. I actually took it for 30 days before I told anybody about it, and it works. It works good.
How much was the cost?
I think I paid like $20 $27 for this one.
Okay.
And where'd you get it?
I bought it from Amazon, but they sell it in any food store like
GNC.
GNC or
Okay.
Vitamin Shop, or but I usually get it from Amazon.
And what's the ounces on it?
This one is 16 ounces. And the cool thing about this is that it actually will last you, because you don't have to do the actual full scoop. You could do like half of the scoop that's inside of here. You don't have to like fill it up. And it works. It mixes well and stuff. I find that it mixes better in hot liquids than it does in anything cool. Like you could maybe do half warm and then fill the rest up to make your iced tea if that's what you want to do. Normally that's what I do, or I throw it in my coffee in the morning.
And is it 100% collagen?
Let's see. What's all in here? Yeah, it's hydrolyzed bovine collagen peptides. Bovine.
That sounds like the same one that I have.
Yeah.
Any form of collagen or any form of product or supplement that has collagen in it is ideal. Also biotin too. So thanks, April, for sharing that, because that's the idea. We need to share more so what we're doing to help each other out. So yes, biotin with that.
Excuse me. I had a question. Can she post that on the other link for everybody to see it?
Yes, that was where I was going with it. Please put it on there.
Okay.
I'll backpedal that myself, because there's a few that I did some research on to see. It doesn't matter if it's oil, powder, topical, pill form, we need collagen. So you guys, like she said, that helps with everything like skin and nails, and hair, all of that is necessary. So when if we're worried about loose skin, it's okay to not move fast in your journey. Let your body adjust. But collagen, adding that in as a supplementation to your journey is ideal. It's very ideal. That's interesting, April. So did your doctor suggest that because of your
No, actually I just was researching it, and because I'm like really obsessed with the whole loose skin on the belly. I don't like it. I don't like the way, like, when you start losing weight, I don't like the way your stomach starts getting all like dimply, when it goes through the process. So I was assuming that my skin was going to get loose. So I'm like, I just started researching, and this one pretty much was coming up everywhere. So I decided to try it. Okay. And it does what it says. So I love it. I even like the way it makes my skin feel. My skin feels really smooth. Good. And so you recommend little lines that were on the side of my eyes, I don't have them anymore. I actually
recommend that brand, or
actually it was this brand. It was the Sports Research. Actually this is like the #1 brand.
The Sports Research. I saw that was the #1 brand on bodybuilding.com too.
Yeah, the Sports Research. And that's another thing. I went on there also because I got that from you.
Oh, bodybuilding. Yeah, when I saw that bottle, I was like, I remember seeing that on bodybuilding.com as the #1.
Yeah.
For collagen. So
I took one that starts with a
people go and get, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss V. I'm sorry.
I had took collagen before, but it was a brand called Zint. Zint. I guess I'm saying it right. Zint. But I didn't like the taste of it.
Now see that this is unflavored. It doesn't taste like anything.
Okay.
It doesn't have a flavor because I don't like flavors of stuff too.
Okay.
But people actually go and get collagen injections. People go and get collagen so when you think about it, if you're actually taking it in a supplement form, you're like, it will change because people get collagen put in face and other areas of their body. Yeah.
It'll definitely change the texture of your skin. It helps a little bit with loose skin, especially for mothers, and you're still dealing with that, and then the weight loss, it helps. So let's do that. But this is the actual order of how we can get our waistline, not our waistline and the sides of our waist like our love handles, but just to flatten our stomachs. We want our stomachs flat. That's actually the ideal. I know a lot of people are saying I want abs, but let's just be realistic. If who wants to live that particular lifestyle to have abs 24/7?
And see, and that's my problem, because I actually, my stomach, this time last year, my stomach was really flat as a board.
Yeah.
But I couldn't eat a carb. I couldn't eat nothing. Like, I had to cut out everything. And I'm like, it was so boring. And so I couldn't stay with it. It was just nothing, so lackluster. Like, no flavor, no salt, no butter, no nothing. Like, nothing that made me feel good. And I was depressed while I was doing it, but I was getting
the
results.
carbs.
Yeah.
You needed the carbs. So
Right.
yeah, my idea is to make this more realistic. So having abs is not a bad thing, but if that's something you want because you're about to take pictures, or you're about to go on a vacation, or you're about to do a competition, then you'll follow those steps for a period of time. But in reality, we just want a flat stomach. We just don't want to feel like a harpoon wheel 24/7. That's really what it is. So that's where we are. So the 5 reminders when it comes to overall weight loss, but especially in our waistline, stress is usually the number one reason why we have this excess belly fat, or just like this extended belly, period. It's stress. Has anyone else told you that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reduce your stress levels. We all deal with stress. It doesn't matter.
I guess I gotta quit my job then.
No. You can, okay.
There's good stresses and bad stresses.
Yes, there's good, exactly. It's either what you can control, you control it in your best interest. But if you can't control it in your best interest, like say for example, your job is stressful and you're like, oh my God, I might as well just quit my job and find another one. Well, now you're adding another stress because it's stressful trying to find another job already.
Right.
So if you can't control that, or that's not being controlled to your best interest, and it's causing another stressor, maybe you need to change the way you think about stress in your life. Change the way you think about the stress instead of trying to figure out how you can eliminate or control it, and then it causes another stress.
I've been doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie, that's all I've been doing for the past couple of months since that whole mindset reset thing. That 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that's no joke. That's an awesome like thought pattern to have, with certain things like you don't want to do, just do it anyway. Or it's also helping me to look at certain things, not want to do it, and be okay with it, and not be apologetic about it.
Not the notary's dog to verify the truth of a document.
Wait, who that? Who's talking? Oh, okay. So if you can't reduce it or control it or get rid of that stress, maybe change the way you think about it. That helps, because your body is responding to whatever stress you're under. Even if it's something you're thinking about, your body responds to it. And then you start feeling like, have you ever thought about something that just drives you insane? And then you start like scratching, and then you start looking at your feet and hands, and they look like they're floating in front of you. And
that's funny, because I'm scratching now thinking about my job.
The way
I'm literally scratching my back as we speak, and I'm thinking like, okay.
It's something you're thinking about. We can control our thinking. You can't do it. It's your brain. But sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes it's hard when something enters your brain and you're trying to figure out how to defute it.
Yeah.
So it's just in a change in emotion. So change how you think it. Either find a way to defute it, or find a way to make it something exciting, or change the way you think about it. But you notice when you're under stress, whether it's the smallest thought pattern, and that's a small form of stress, your body is responding to it. Your body is trying to protect itself. So it starts doing all of this crazy stuff like, why I gotta look like this just so you can protect me from my own thoughts? So change the way you think.
I have a remedy for it. I just can't go around doing it. I might be in jail.
What? That's not a remedy. Actually, that is a good one because that got us to laugh. So whatever stress we was going through, that helped.
I would like to sock some people in the face.
You know.
Especially at my job.
My mother said this. What she said, sometimes just saying that's what you want to do actually relieves the stress.
See if you understood the lesson.
And I did that one time. I was like, I really just want to punch this person in the face because that meant, and then I started laughing because I couldn't believe I was sounding this violent about the situation. And then the stress was gone. And I'm thinking, like, would I want somebody to punch me in the face if I said, like, I started thinking, and then it totally just distracted the whole stress. And then I was fine. But she said sometimes just admitting that's what you want to do actually gets rid of the stress. The problem is you can't do what you really want to do because you have to think about the consequences of some of the actions you make. So sometimes just admitting that's what you want to do may just be enough. So yeah, thanks, B, for saying that. 2, getting more sleep.
Yeah, cool.
You guys get more sleep. How many of you are?
Shut up. You the reason why I don't get no sleep.
Well, I've been asleep.
She got sleep. Not getting.
I don't get no sleep.
You don't.
I
Get
don't either.
No, I went to bed at 2:00 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
I went to work last night at 11. I got off. I left the job at like 12. I'm here at home and I still haven't been asleep.
Sleep.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah,
Sleep is a way to repair your body. Guys,
I think I'm gonna start taking some melatonin or something.
Yes.
I can't sleep.
You may need some melatonin. Some other things. Who's on their phones in the middle of the night?
Not me.
No.
I'm at work in the middle of the night.
Okay. So that means you have to sleep during the day, which that, for some people, that's hard. And for others, they're used to it. Are you used to that?
You know, usually actually, I'm all over the place because at work, I'm a nurse. So sometimes my hours, I could be at work during the morning shift, the evening shift, night shift. I'm just kind of back and forth. So I don't really have a sleep pattern. I just sleep when I sleep.
Okay.
And I know that's bad, and I try to correct it, but it's like my day sometimes just get away from me so much.
Okay.
Or
So some ways to remedy that. Electronics, if that's not an issue for you,
first, and we put another can in, and it was cold then, so I didn't put another can in.
Let me do it. Is there anybody? Okay. Because I don't want too much feedback so you guys can hear me. A to-do list is necessary.
Ooh.
Who, nobody does to-do list anymore?
I know. I haven't did a to-do list in a long time.
If I don't, I'll say this. If I know that I have several things that I know I have to get done, I have to prioritize like at least getting 2 done a day. Then move on. But I don't do it consistently. But when I find that I don't, it puts me under a lot of stress because now I want to get it all done.
Yes.
So I purposely make a list. Yeah.
We have
not all the time, but when I do, I find myself being better at it.
Yep. That's something that should be consistent because life is changing for us. We do have our phones to pretty much remind us of every damn thing we need to do. But like Latrice said, prioritizing, we tend to have like 10 million things we need to do, and we're trying to fit them all in one day, and it's causing you stress. So like prioritizing and just only focus on 2 things and actually completing those 2 things and moving on to the next. I've mentioned this in like our daily routine. That's something that I try to do a lot of too. I do to-do lists all the time, but I'm obsessive compulsive. So I try to do everything. And I always have to go back and remember just 2 things, just do 2 things and complete it. And then the other things that I need to do, don't fucking do them. Just leave them to the next day.
Ooh, I'm telling you, cussing.
I know, don't do them. I'm talking to myself because I'll complete them and then I'm like, oh, cool, now I can do it. Like, no, because by that time, I'm trying to complete the other, like 8 things on my list. And then now it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question.
Yes.
So with like with the eating, do anybody else have a hard time? Like sometimes I have a hard time eating 3 times a day or 2 times a day. Sometimes 1 is like enough, but I'd be afraid I'm not getting enough calories in.
Are you recording everything that you're doing? Are you recording what your food intake is? And are you looking through MyFitnessPal what you're
I normally put it in MyFitnessPal. Any little thing that I stick in my mouth, except for sometimes like my liquids, like every day I drink a cup of tea in the morning with a teaspoon of honey in it. I never record that because it's only 1 teaspoon of honey, and I know a tablespoon is like 60 calories or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I'm probably getting in on an average day maybe 1,500 calories a day, maybe. But I stay bloated so much, and I feel gross when I eat a lot of. Sometimes my stomach is just upset, and I don't know if it has to do with the fact of my sleep patterns or whatever. Because I'm sleeping, like I'll come home, I'll go to sleep, then I got to get back up, so my sleep is broken into like 4-hour increments. Because I have to get up and go get my teenager, then I come back home, go to sleep, and then I get up in another 4 hours and go to work.
Yeah, you need sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your gut and your brain are actually designed to look exactly alike on the inside of your body. So they both need to be, you're not getting sleep for your brain and for your digestive system. It's stress. Inflammation is caused mostly by stress, some form of food that you're eating that's causing you stress, or that's an allergen, or that your body doesn't digest. It may not be that. It may be just sleep. You need to rest. Your body.
I know if I sleep all night, I wake up, my stomach is flat. I can see my dents on the side and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like as soon as I stick something in my mouth, 5 seconds later, I'm like Puff the Magic Dragon. Like, what is happening? I don't even understand.
You might have an allergy to the honey if that's the first thing that you're consuming and you start to get extended. I've heard that people who have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, they have to avoid honey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that might be. So it doesn't hurt to try and see if that's what it is. If that's the first thing you get up and you do, and you just be like, for the rest of the day, you just bloated, it's something you're eating.
Okay.
But definitely fix your sleep pattern.
She brought up a good question. I'm sorry, Miss Nakia. Yeah. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
It's good to have a sleep pattern. Go to sleep and wake up same time every day. That's a starting point. The easiest way to do it.
And she brought up a good point. As far as the eating, only like you're like, I'm not that hungry. And I know you said like it's better for me to consume the 3 meals. Could you consider that as being a fasted period then? If you only get that 1 and then you're still doing your liquids as far as your water or your teas, and you don't get that meal, or it's like
simple things like, okay, so we're number 5 is a good number 3 is the third reminder, so we're getting right into that. Time restricted eating and food avoidances. The simplest way when it comes to your diet, we already know you need to eat clean. That's simple. The second thing is only eat when you're hungry. That's the next one. And then third, pay attention to foods that are causing you any type of issues. So eat only when you're hungry and only during the period of time where you're active.
Okay.
If you're not active, if you just sitting around and you try to avoid it, because usually usually for most of us, when we're just sitting around, that's when we're eating.
Yep,
And you know what that indicator is? You're bored as hell.
Yep.
Or you're idle. So I got to put something in my mouth. It's like a fixation of something of some sort. And when you're
like they say, grazing, you're grazing. Yeah.
You're grazing. And in your mind, that's when your stressors come up. Mental stressors is when you're like not doing anything and you're just sitting there, you ready to eat something. So keep that in mind. Only eat when you're hungry, keep it clean, and then try to only eat around the times that you're active. So most common way of saying it is when you're up. And try to stop eating at least 3 hours before you go to sleep.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to keep it simple. And that's the simplest way. So I know that's like sounds like intermittent fasting when I'm talking about time restricted eating. You have people who like eat between 12 and 6, 12 and 10, or whatever your time frame is. That is a personal thing. But how often you eat definitely depends upon you. It's usually said somewhere between every 2 to 4 hours. It all depends on the person. I will say the more often if you're a mesomorph, you're going to be needing to eat. You don't need to, but it's suggested that you should eat every 2.5 hours for a mesomorph. For an ectomorph, the ones who just have a hard time gaining weight, period, whether it's muscle or fat, they have to eat more often and in high volumes in order to gain the muscle weight and the weight that they want. So for endomorph, they say around every 3 to 4 hours. So those are like your baselines. They're baselines, but it's different for each person. Even if you are a mesomorph or an endomorph or an ectomorph, your lifestyle dictates that. So you might be like, can I do that? Like I might have to do a 2 meal a day because of how my lifestyle is. But as long as your meals are clean and you're eating when you're hungry, that's best. Was there any other questions with that aspect of eating? I know you guys got the whole point of sleep, right? Please go to sleep.
Is anybody taking any specific like protein supplements? Because I actually been trying the pea protein, or they're disgusting. So that's going
that
bad.
is nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad. I didn't went. This is like my 5th one I didn't try it. I don't think any of them taste good. So it's
no, they don't, because they're the most natural form. So anything that tastes good, more than likely, is not natural. That's what I would say. Anybody says anything that's good for you just must not for you. Usually take whatever tastes really good. It's got sucrose in it. It's got high fructose corn syrup in it. It's got some ingredient in it that makes it taste good, but it's an ingredient that our bodies really aren't supposed to be digesting. So pea protein, I'm even gonna say this, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, they have pea protein. You can ask for that in your smoothies, but they mask it so well. I don't know what it is that they're doing, but they're masking that taste of pea protein very well. But the protein that I have, give me a second.
Hey Nishiba, you gotta share that what you shared yesterday. That would be great.
Oh, sorry. I was doing my hair. Okay. I was trying to. Yeah, I'm gonna get that in one second.
I've posted this before and I can do it again. But this brand, this is NutriKey, and I got it from Amazon. This has a really good taste to it. It does.
You mix it with water.
Here's the picky eater. The picky eater said no. Yeah.
It's not working. So I would suggest you. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
You have a whey protein, so you're able to do that.
Yeah, I'm trying this one also, but it's
okay. The organic.
Yeah.
This one
I got it from Walmart.
So don't buy this one.
Don't buy that one.
No, it's nasty. It's like I'm like this like my fifth one. I promise you. I'm taking it back tomorrow.
Which one is that one?
Which one is it?
This one is Garden of Life Sport. It's a organic plant-based protein.
Show it again.
Oh, yes. I used to, oh my God, I used to use it. It was so disgusting. Yeah, I stopped using that years ago.
This is nasty.
It's
really nasty.
really good.
I
Add some
tried it
peanut
with the
butter to
almond
it.
milk. It was gross. I tried it with plain water. It was gross. I mixed strawberries in it. It was gross. Nothing
Yeah, it
makes
doesn't
this
work.
taste good.
So I've been using this. This is called Humor Pro.
Okay.
It does have sucrose in it, but it's for what do I want to say? Vegan or gluten-free. This stuff tastes so good.
I'm waiting for that price to go down.
It's worth it.
How much is it?
$40-something.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay.
But how long does that last
I
you?
paid like $42 for that, or $37 or something, and it's disgusting. I'm taking it back.
You don't
How long does that last?
This, I still have it. It says 90 servings.
So is that only sold online, or do they have it in the health food store?
The only place that I've seen this is at Vitamin Shop.
Okay.
Oh, cool. So that's
think
where
they have it
I'm
on
going to take
Amazon.
that back and look for it.
I get
me and
it
the
on
man-
Amazon.
Look, me and the man made a pact. He said we're going to keep trying till we find something.
Find you something. Yes.
So
I
Humor Pro. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's on
I'm
Amazon for
all right.
$47.94.
Yeah, on Amazon.
Okay.
It's almost $60 at Vitamin Shop. So
Oh my God.
That's a big savings.
yeah, it's a big savings. I like this because I do love the taste of it, and all I have to do is just put water or cold, like ice cold water in it. It's just amazing.
I feel some type
Oh,
of way
wow.
Is
because
it thick? Cause like this like tastes like sand, like wet sand. It was really
Yeah, it's
Ew.
disgusting. It does.
This
It
is
does.
terrible.
That's what this one is. This is a superfood protein, like a green protein. This tastes like exactly what you just said, like wet sand. But I add certain things to mine that are a little bit natural to sweeten it a bit, like honey. Sometimes I'll use that. What else do I use it? Like fruits, any form of fruits that you like, frozen fruits. It makes this taste a lot better. But this was just water. It's got a grainy texture to it. But then after you taste it, it's like, it's nice. But it all depends, because I'm talking about vegan and vegetarian free, whey free, dairy free type protein.
Yeah, see that. Yeah, that's what that is. Cause that's what I'm trying to remove, like any milk proteins and things from my diet, because I'm lactose intolerant, so I do know that stuff, it tears my stomach apart. Now I was using the Dynamataz.
Yeah, Dynamataz.
Okay, now that didn't bother me so much, but I couldn't mix it with my almond milk. I could only drink it with water, because it would be too foamy with the almond milk. So I would mix it with water, and it was fine.
That's how this is. It's better with just water and fruit, because it's really sweet. So trying to put it with something that has somewhat of a milk texture to it, like almond milk, coconut milk, it tastes funny. It tastes weird. So this is just best with fruit and water. So the simplest way to it. So
it's no fair that they are making these prices outrageous for us to be healthy, but everybody that's big and want to eat junk food can go buy stuff for $1.
Well, it's marketing. That's how they get you.
Right.
Crazy.
They know.
And to be honest, like I watched a study, they said the reason why, because these companies that are coming out with doing it the mass productive way or doing it the quick way, their costs are lower. And for organic and for those farmers that are trying to keep it the natural way, like 80 years ago, they're putting all these stipulations on them. So they have to raise their prices to stay in competition, to bring you the healthier options. So that's the kind of the downfall. And then those same companies that are doing it the cheaper way put their people in the Congress and Senate and then they lobby them to keep their money where it is, and then they pass the bills for them to keep getting bigger and bigger, and the little guy keep getting smaller and smaller and have to raise his price or go out of business.
Exactly. Sounds like Walmart.
Unfortunate.
And they doing the same thing with the honey too. So that's why when
Yep.
you say honey, I'm like, I had to think you have to be careful where you get your honey from too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because they now just because it says it's raw honey don't necessarily mean that it might be something
Nope.
else.
It's sugar. That's all it is. They add corn syrup to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep.
That is exactly what they're doing. Wait, let's see. This is the next level, and then I'm gonna come back to, let's see if it'll let me. I'm gonna come back to 4 and 5 because that's all about exercising.
Hey, that hair looks good, Nashiba.
I know she over
Are
there.
you watching me?
Yes.
You can see me.
Yes.
It looks good.
I thought I turned it. I thought I turned the thing off. Lord,
It's too late.
Jesus.
It's too late.
It looks good.
Are you kidding me? I thought I turned. I turned this thing off. I thought I turned it off.
It's all right, girl. Look, at least you look good. I'm sitting up here looking like I'm getting shellacked or something.
We still see you. We still see you. You got your hand.
Yes, we do.
I pushed.
So
Just leave it
here's
alone.
some foods to avoid for your next level.
Why pop
Okay,
it to be
okay.
first?
Next
sorry,
30
please.
days, this is what we're going to focus on. So I want you to kind of play around for the next 2 weeks with this and see where your diet is and what you can simplify. I don't want you guys to jump into all of these 4 ideas all at once because you will go nuts. So only eliminate the first thing that you can comfortably eliminate. Does that make sense? Like you like, I can do without it. But if it's something you enjoy, you're like, I don't know if I can do without that. Keep it in, but if you notice that it's causing an issue, you're going to have to make a decision. That makes sense. You're going to have to make a decision to get where you want, which is the next level, which is flattening our stomachs out. So these are things that you probably want to avoid or completely eliminate, or not. I don't want to say avoid and eliminate means the same thing. I want to say decrease if you're at a high volume with this stuff. So remember, this is about a lifestyle change. You're changing the way you do things in order to look a certain way. The way people look, and I know we see people that eat and do all this stuff. Trust me, they're not really eating like that. And then those that are, is because they're under 2 years old. I don't know what's going on with that, but breads and pastas.
Okay.
I'll give you one word: yeast.
Mm-hmm.
Is
So,
it okay to have sprouty bread?
like Ezekiel bread?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and what about the Trader Joe brand? Because I'm trying that one because it was kind of a softer texture.
I would say Ezekiel bread if you must have bread. When I say must, like this is a mental thing for you. Like I can't live without bread. Like, okay. So it's about a eat this, not that type thing. So if bread is something you enjoy, you have to find an alternative to something that is causing you not to get to the next level, because bread and yeast keeps your belly extended.
Okay.
So if you just know that one thing, I'm suggesting Ezekiel bread is better. Any other brand that don't say Ezekiel bread, don't even worry about it. Even the Ezekiel like raisin, cinnamon raisin, that's good too. If that's what you enjoy. If you just can't live without bread and you like that texture, that's something to think about. Just go for it.
I have the Ezekiel bread, and then I have the brand for Trader Joe's also.
I
I just bought that one. I just haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
But I have the one with raisins in it. This one is a little lower calorie.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think, it's a 7-grain sprouted bread.
Okay, so
That
might be good then. Sprouted, that might be good. What does the ingredient say?
It has wheat berries, quinoa, millet, oat oat groats, barley, rye berries, uh, amaranth, and but it's sweetened with honey and molasses.
Honey and molasses.
Yeah, but it's only like it's 60 calories per slice, 11 carbs, and 1 gram of sugar.
1 gram. Okay. That sounds safe.
Okay, so I was gonna try that because I'm like I am a person I have to have some form of bread because I like pasta. I should have been Italian.
Yeah.
I love pasta.
It's not bad. It's the type of pasta that we're consuming. Spaghetti squash was created by God for us to have pasta because he knew he was going to Italian people.
Vanessa said no.
I disagree because I did have me some pasta last week.
You had it?
Yes, I was like, it's almost to the end. I said, I got to have me some pasta.
So, like I said, one word for bread, I said yeast. Here's the one word I'm going to say for pasta. Plastic.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
That wasn't right. You was wrong for that.
No,
wow. She dropped the mic.
No. Look,
she blew the mic up.
Like that. Look, I was eating me some white chocolate, and I'm like, "Ooh, I just love white chocolate." And my daughter said, "You know that ain't really chocolate, right? You don't need to eat white chocolate no
and
more."
Sugar. That's true. And sugar. Yeah.
Sugar. It's not even.
Oh my God, plastic.
These are the words. These are the words I want you to associate this with. Your body doesn't need that. Your body can't even. We can't eat plastic, okay?
Yeah, I don't want to eat plastic either.
April, we need to just detox, okay?
You know what? Actually, I did try some chickpea pasta. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad.
Okay, so there's like certain condiments we enjoy, like there's Alfredo sauce, spaghetti sauce, and that helps so that you can get back, so you can get into this lifestyle change of how you're eating or what you're eating instead. So use those to your advantage, but leave the yeast and the plastic alone.
Okay.
Okay.
You made it clear. So yeah.
Yes, leave it alone. Dairy causes inflammation. I will give you one word. Mucus.
Oh man, come on.
Maybe I'll give you 2 words. Pus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
So Deanne, wait. So now
no yogurt.
What about eggs? Now, and I like cheese, but I can let the cheese go. I can, because I have before.
Pick one thing. Just eggs aren't really, I don't know, they associate eggs as dairy, but eggs is a form of protein more so than eggs.
It comes from a chicken.
It comes from a chicken, so.
Yeah, see, I love eggs, though, so I refuse to let eggs go. Eggs is something that I have to have.
Well, you're not alone on that, because I keep refusing to let that go. I've let go of all other meat, but eggs and salmon is still in my repertoire of foods, and I enjoy that. But when I mean dairy, I'm talking about milks,
I don't drink it.
Yogurt.
I don't eat it.
Good. So.
Well, I got like 7 Greek yogurts left down there.
Okay, so
down the toilet.
You're going to have a funeral session. Just lay them out and just say, hey, it's either me or you. Because one, studies show that yogurts cause cancer, which I find that quite interesting. No play as a sponsor for breast cancer awareness. But it's one of the leading causes of it. Not only that,
Greek yogurt?
Yes, yogurt, period. It's dairy.
Oh.
Just because it says Greek, though, it just comes from Greek.
Well, I give it to my daughter. That's why I was asking. But she eats it every day.
She does?
Greek yogurt.
You love your daughter.
Kahara, did you see Kahara? She said that kite heel is a good form of yogurt. I've never heard of that. So.
Kite heel. Let's look into that. I'll look into that. I've never heard of that. I just
Yeah, could you put it back up there? She texted it.
yeah,
She said kite, Kite Hill, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's a vegan yogurt.
Yeah,
It's a
she said a
vegan
vegan
yogurt?
Yes.
YouTuber.
Okay.
You
I
know what
wonder
though?
what's in
To
the-
me,
what's the
I don't really
ingredients in
feel
it.
that vegan food is all that healthy. Like some of that stuff, if it's not vegetables, that processed stuff that be in the store, I don't like that stuff.
Exactly.
I don't think it's healthy. Like I'm like, how's that healthy? It's
Well,
processed food.
some of it is purely vegetables.
It's plant-based.
they
It's plant-based. A
Yeah,
lot of it is
right.
plant-based.
It's
Yeah.
plant-based. So it's processed to appear like something else, but it's just vegetables that's processed to look like meat.
Okay.
Yep.
So don't look at the ingredients, definitely. But some stuff like tofu, I get that. I'm a little off with that one. Like, wait,
Yeah, I don't like that.
so
Yeah.
I don't see greens or onions or peppers. Like, I'm not seeing that. So yeah,
Right.
I see the word soy
It's
protein.
processed. Yeah.
Yeah, so soy protein isn't all that bad for you, but there are some aspects of soy protein that's not so good for you. But when I'm talking about dairy, those two words, that causes inflammation.
Mhm.
For a bodybuilder, when I had to do my competition, that was the first thing on the list that I had to completely cut out. And I thought that was interesting because I was still allowed to have whey protein, but just having cheese, yogurt, those things, it causes inflammation, and it was inflammation in the belly.
All right.
Overall, the entire body, but especially in the belly, because our bodies aren't meant to actually process that because it's coming from a non-human. So we're women. We're supposed to lactate to feed our babies, right?
Yeah.
That it helps them grow, strong bones, mind, all of that stuff. Well, cow's milk is supposed to be for their baby cows, and that's why they grow so fast, because they're taking in the nutrients from their mother. Same thing when it comes to a child. So you're looking at a child that is 15 years old and she is built like she's almost 40, and you're wondering why. It's because she's taking in hormones from an animal that actually is meant to get that particular animal to grow fast to continually reproduce.
I can honestly tell you, when I was a kid, I don't remember yogurt until I got into my preteen.
I don't either.
Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no yogurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't start noticing yogurt coming out until for kids. I'll say that for kids, until I started seeing Go-Gurt and yogurt.
That was the first form. Yep.
And then Yoplait started coming in with Activia and all of this stuff, talking about it helps your digestive system. And
yep.
No, it don't.
That stuff don't work. Trust me.
No.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a yogurt head, but I gave up yogurt. I haven't quite given up the cheese, but I don't do it today. I gave it up.
Hey, yogurt head.
Oh, what about cheese?
The cheese, right? It's like cheese is so hard for me. I love
cheese is the hardest, and honestly, it's the. Oh, I gotta drop these bombs like this.
I quit the group.
Yeah.
Lord help her.
Go
Help.
vegetarian or vegan.
Rehab for real.
Like
being there like this was straight back.
I don't say avoid, or yes, I do, but I know what I want to say because I've done that. I don't eat dairy, period, because all I can think about is pus and mucus in my stomach, and I'm like,
oh my God,
working for me.
Yeah. Well,
but let's be realistic.
You know what actually worked really well, like how I fooled myself, because I used to always put cheese in my eggs. I actually bought me some nutritional yeast from Trader Joe's, and I sprinkled that in my eggs, and it's kind of cheesy. It's not cheese, but it'll take you there.
Cheesy. Okay, so nutritional yeast.
No, you know what I did? My youngest daughter is a vegan. So for Thanksgiving, I had a challenge to make her a meal that was comparable to our non-vegan way. I made her macaroni and cheese with nutritional yeast. She couldn't tell the difference.
But see,
I don't think I could copy it again.
but it's still
Right.
yeast. Now, is that bad?
Yeah, but it's yeast, but she's vegan. I made a roux, then I put that in there and spread it over there and baked it just like it was, didn't add an egg. She couldn't tell the difference.
The difference between nutritional yeast and yeast that's in bread is processed and it has sugar in it.
Ah,
It's a refined sugar. Nutritional yeast does not have refined sugars in it.
Okay.
So Nakia, I have a question. Nutritional yeast seasoning, is that different from the actual yeast? Or
No, because I use a nutritional yeast seasoning too.
Okay, because I'm looking at the Bragg's brand.
Yeah.
Bragg's have one? That's pretty good.
That's it.
Okay.
Bragg.
Okay, so I could eat the nutritional yeast. It's okay.
Girl, on my eggs every morning, be almost turning it into macaroni and cheese.
Okay, all right, good. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But yes, so the dairy, I know it's not easy.
Yeah, that's
not that. If it's the texture and the taste of it that you enjoy, most of the time it's the taste. It's not necessarily the texture. But it's
I think I just use it as a quick snack. That's the only dairy that I have in my diet. Other than that, I have almond milk or coconut milk. I don't
drink milk either.
I'll use Smart Balance. Now I do like butter, but I could cut that out and just keep my Smart Balance. Is that okay or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather you guys focus on something that you're okay letting go. Because if you're not okay letting go, you're not going to get the results that you want just forcing yourself to do it yet. Yeah. You have to be in the mindset and be ready for it. Sometimes
no cheese.
Yeah, sometimes there's information I give you guys. I know it's going to work, but that doesn't mean you're ready for it yet. I'm saying avoid things that you are okay with just letting go or cutting back on until you completely let it go. And then follow the next thing that you're like, okay, this was on the list. Should I keep it or give it up? If it's not giving you any problems, then I wouldn't say give it up. But if it's continuing to give you problems, even after you've cut out each thing one by one in your own timing, then you have to make a decision. Because again, it's a lifestyle change. It's eating a certain way and then going into another way of doing it to get the look that you want and to keep the health that you're looking for. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Processed foods are refined sugars.
Right.
No matter what you do, avoid them at all costs. If you can make it a treat for you every once in a while, I think that's a good idea because that's realistic. But keep in mind, sugars is one of the reasons why we're dealing with a lot of inflammation. Because to me, the one word I think is cocaine. That's it.
Yeah.
Now I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How much watermelon can a person eat?
I'll say there's no such thing as too much watermelon because God made
because my daughter had bought me one. It was gone in 2 days.
That's good.
You had a lot of bathroom breaks. That's what you had.
I had it for breakfast.
You're not doing anything but cleaning your system out very well.
Watermelon, watermelon. I love it.
Because some people say it's too much of sugar.
That's true. Dark chocolate. Yep.
I'm like, but it's fruit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know some people were asking questions in the chat, so I want to get to them too. So processed foods is very simple. Just watermelon is not a processed food. That's nature's sugar.
And didn't you say in the last one that fruits, it's a natural sugar, not a man-made one? So
not a man-made sugar. And I'm going to say this, but I don't want you guys to take it too far off. There's a lot of our fruits and our vegetables that are genetically modified, or we call them hybrids.
Watermelon's one.
Yeah, watermelon is one. Great.
Bananas.
A lot of our foods that we should be eating are hybrid foods. So genetically modified organism is the word that they use. Sometimes it's unjustly applied to certain. So I'll say this, it's unjustly applied to bananas or certain fruits and vegetables because the molecular structure of them still represents how God originally made them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to say something.
Oh no, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just heard something this week. The best way to know how to select your fruits and vegetables is to eat what's only in season. And
I
if you
heard
can't
about that.
find it, to find it in frozen
And
and
frozen.
then take it from
Take it.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah, because most of it, if it's not in season, then that means it was GMO'd.
Yes.
So, and the, like maybe your farmers markets, those are the best ways to find what's in season because they from the farm. So.
Yeah.
Y'all about to have me in the grocery store for 4 hours doing research. Being there like this.
Either
Look,
way,
look.
Non-GMO, GMO.
Some people might not think that way or have the time for that. So if you go into a grocery store and you stay in the produce section, even if the foods you picking up are not in season, you're still okay.
Okay.
I might just throw it across the
Not
store.
that far off from the molecular structure of how God
You're gonna
created.
be running out that store.
I want you guys to understand that this is what's actually happening with our food, but there's a way to change the way you think about it so it doesn't cause you undue stress because you don't like, well, what the hell do I eat? I'm just going to eat the grass in front of my house. And then it's going to be a whole nother like discussion we have to have of pesticides and everything else. So if it does not change, if it's not changed the molecular structure of how it's how God created it's food we should eat. It's just what we have to deal with at this moment.
It's just the processing of it, because some of them, they take it to big rooms and then they let ethanol gas ripen it. So it's just that.
So it's something we deal with. So if you have the money to go organic, go for it. Go to your farmer's market. You can, and it's usually the farmer's market is usually cheaper.
Yep.
And fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Organic.
I've been buying 69-cent apples from Trader Joe's, but I have to say that they taste much better.
Yes.
Yep.
Man, my
They
Trader
taste
Joe's like
better.
45 minutes away. I'm like,
Yeah, man.
And then avoiding your personal food allergens. You won't know that until you really pay attention to how you feel and what your body is doing. Some foods causes inflammation or just may cause you to retain a lot of water, and you might not like that. So if you don't like that, that's probably something you have to avoid. But some food allergens just cause you digestive issues to no end, and you don't want to let them go. You're going to have to make a decision. It's either you just gonna have that issue or you're gonna have to get rid of that food. So pay attention to what you eat. When you're eating something, pay attention to how you feel immediately after you consume that entire meal. Know what it is you've eaten and pay attention to how you feel. Not only that, pay attention to how you look after you eat too. Because if you are like blown up in your face and your hands.
Oh yeah, listen y'all. Oh, guess what I did? I had a bad moment. I went and bought some Garrett's popcorn, right? So I like cheese, right? We remember that. I ate the whole bag of a small popcorn, and then I went to sleep. I woke up, everything was puffy. My face, my hands, I looked terrible, and then even my eyes were puffy. And I was telling my spouse, I'm like, oh my goodness. I said I shouldn't have ate that popcorn. So he think I'm just obsessed with everything. He like, okay, so what you eat now that you're allergic to? I said no. I said I ate the whole bag of cheese, Garrett's popcorn. He was like, why would you do that? I'm like, I hadn't had it in like 2 years and I couldn't stop eating it. It was terrible. But yes, it bloated me everywhere. So I do know cheese don't do me right, but it tastes good to me. I'm the woman in Dr. Dolittle hiding in the stall eating the lobster. I ain't gonna even lie.
Knowing you got an allergy.
You got an allergy to it.
April, did you have your hand in the bag like this? Like,
right. Oh, girl, I was sucking my fingers and everything.
Yes.
I think I went to sleep. I had cheese all around my mouth.
With a smile on your face.
Pay attention to yourself. Especially certain foods you eat before you go to sleep. You do not want your body trying to repair itself, and it's fighting to metabolize
whatever.
My body gave up. It was like, forget it, blow on.
Yes. And I'm not saying go to sleep starving. That's bad. Don't go to sleep starving. If you just have to drink and it's better to have some kind of light fruit, or because that metabolizes very fast, and by the time you fall asleep, you're good. Or try a protein shake or something like that. The protein helps to build muscle and all of that stuff, and repairs things. So go for one of those two things before you go to bed if you're starving. Just have light fruit, something that can go fast, and your body is not trying to process food and process getting hormones in check and cells and all of that stuff. Keep that in mind. But your food allergens, pay attention to what your food allergens are and how you respond to what you eat. And if you are okay with letting it go because you don't want to deal with that allergen again, then let it go. But if you're not, then proceed at your own risk. Proceed at your own risk. You like, I want this. I know what's going to happen to me tomorrow, and I'm okay with it because it's temporary. It only lasts for so long, and then I can go back to what I was up to. So sometimes it's okay to indulge so you can get a little bit of dopamine into your system. It helps. Let's see.
All right.
So our last two is about working out. Some of you, I suggest some things you could probably add into your workout regimen, but ab exercises and planks. So if you're doing a bunch of crunches, don't work, right? They tell you that?
I always thought that if you got fat on your stomach and if you do sit-ups, it's just gonna make the fat look bigger.
Exactly. Because you're building your muscle underneath excess body fat, water weight, stress, whatever it is that's underneath that. However, there are specific exercises that are best. Bicycle crunches, planks, and weighted Russian twists. You know, like when you twist your body. Okay. So you're thinking of you're twisting from side to side, you're twisting your waistline, and what does that do? That slims this. This is what we're doing. But where you're trying to get your, what's the name? Your abdomen, your front part to flatten out. We already know that's diet and reducing your stress. But bicycle crunches, and I didn't put it on here, but it's called vacuuming, stomach vacuums.
Oh, you will almost pass out doing that.
Yeah.
What is that?
It worked. It's like you basically are sucking, you're pulling your whole, you're holding the air in, but you're pulling your stomach in, and you hold it like 15 seconds, and then you let out the air, and then you go right back into it, but it worked.
Yes.
Yeah,
I seen something like that years ago. Yeah.
You sound real amazed at that. Like it. Well, because your lower abs. So you want to build the muscle in that area so that your body sees that, oh, I'm building muscle here. So your body is, the fat in that area is like, well, she don't need me there, so I'm gonna go somewhere else or just go away. And so now your muscle is built underneath that, and it flattens. It's muscle needs the energy. Your excess energy is your body fat. So it's feeding from that. It needs that. And so when that's gone, now you can see your stomach is flattening out. Some of you, quite a few of you, your lines are starting to show. So that's letting me know your diet is good, and you're probably doing Russian twists. But if you add in those vacuums, like sucking in, you should feel your lower abs pull up. That's the.
Can you do a video on that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
I would show y'all, but I'm not ready.
You're not ready. Bicycle crunches is one good one to do that with, because that's working actually the entire like abs, like from lower all the way up. So yes, I did a video on it, and I'm like, how am I gonna do this video and get them to understand the vacuum and like what you should feel? Kegels is the word that I'm looking for.
Okay, Kegel exercise.
So
you know what helps? If when you are beginning to do those vacuums, it really helps if you lay down flat and do it. It like in the beginning, some people could do it standing up, and it's funny because I knew what they was before it became a thing.
Became a
My
thing.
son, we used to do it as a kid. Like suck
Oh
it in.
yeah, my aunt would talk about it. Yeah.
Right. We used to do it as a kid and suck it in and we see what we could see our ribs. So of course we
Yep.
could see our ribs when we was little. We ain't had no fat, but
Right.
you know, it's the same thing. But if you lay down flat and then do it, it'll get it better and you'll feel it. Actually, you really will feel it.
Yeah.
If I could find the video, I'll post it on our
Yes.
chat. If I could find the video, but it's a lady who was doing it and she was showing how to do it for beginners. I think she was on Dr. Oz. She was doing on one of the Dr. Oz things and she was standing up, but she was showing the beginners how to do it.
Yeah, like, cause it's like Kegels too. So it's
Yeah.
like pull it in. So it doesn't just flatten your stomach. It increases some sexual things too. But that's a person to think about. But doing some weight exercises and planks, yes. Crunches, I can't say don't do them, but add it to your regimen, especially those Russian twists and those what in the world call me, and stomach vacuum. So once I finished the video, because I didn't even think to do the beginner one because I was doing it standing up and I almost passed out 2V. So I was like, I'm gonna post this so they can see like how I was dealing with this. Like,
Did you hold on to the sink? Don't be mad at the bathroom.
And then it was funny because I was recording it and I was laughing at myself because I was doing it first thing in the morning when I'm like, I ain't got no food in my stomach. Like, what the heck am I thinking? I'm like, but I want them to know that like this works.
How did you have your arms? Because I had mine like this, like.
Behind my back. I had them behind my head and to pull in. Because it's a method that we were taught in etiquette class and in modeling that you have to stand up and lift up. And that's not only that, that's how they train you to do these poses for these competitions and how that stomach vacuum is a big thing. So they force you to do that when you're at your most leanest. So if you're at your most leanest, you're dehydrated and you're food deprived. And
that's called peak week.
Yeah, it's endurance. It's peak week. So it's an endurance thing. But yeah, it does work because you need to strengthen those muscles. And those muscles being strengthened, it's going to pull the energy from that area. And that's your waistline. So it's going to pull that excess body fat from that area because that's the area you're working out. So it does. There's two things I don't like. I don't like the word confuse your body because your body's not confused. You can't confuse it. You can do something differently to get it to respond, but you can't confuse it. It's not confused. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then two, there's this thing they're saying you can't spot reduce.
I'm hearing that a lot.
Yeah, you can't spot reduce. I'm kind of on the fence with that. Me too. Yeah, I'm on the fence with that. Because I've seen people do challenges where they're like, how I looked when I did 400 crunches for 4 days. Like you see the difference in the area that they worked out. So it's like, can you really spot reduce or can you not spot reduce? Your whole body is going to lose weight where it wants to. We're all genetically disposed to lose weight a certain way. But most of us tend to lose it all over our bodies at the same time. So when they say you can't spot reduce, that is true. You can't like just spot reduce your waistline like that and only that. But to get that to go along with the rest, unfortunately, our bodies just tend to lose it everywhere else. And then it seems like our waistline is the last to go. And the reason why it's the last to go is because it can be spot reduced if we check that diet and if we do some things that kind of strengthens the muscle in that area so that muscle can pull the energy, which is your excess body fat, from that area and flatten it out.
Y'all want to hear something funny?
What?
When I stepped away, I was doing a vacuum to see with this strained muscle in my back.
I
gotta wait.
You gotta wait.
Or maybe try it laying down like April suggested. No, still?
No, because I got this strained muscle is like I could barely. You should see how I'm walking like a duck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, just walk like a duck for 15 minutes. That's all you need. Oh, hits. Who's doing high intensity interval training?
I was.
Sometimes.
Y'all doing Zumba and all of these classes, and that's good. You're doing different things. Hit is stressful on the body. Doing it every day, like I started off, is not necessarily a good thing. Like they say, people who do things for bodybuilding purposes, we tend to do things that are honestly not very healthy. I would not suggest that you do that same thing. I would suggest that 1 or 2 times out of the week is enough. The best way is, I mentioned, that 1-to-1 and that 2-to-1 ratio based off time. If you're beginning at it, that 2-to-1, meaning rest longer than you work hard on. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So 30 seconds all out crazy and 1 minute rest to get that heart rate back down so you can recover to go all out another 30 seconds. Does that make sense? That 2-to-1 ratio. The 1-to-1 is for that advanced person, and I'm meaning, when I say advanced, that 2-to-1 has gotten too easy for you. You can almost do it an entire hour and be fine. It's time for a 1-to-1. So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, or 30 seconds all in, and 30 seconds really focusing on bringing that heart rate down and then going right back into it again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do 30, 45, because I was looking at Dr. Berg, and he was talking about how sometimes you can even take up to 2 minutes because you can harm yourself more if you dive right back into it without letting your heart rate come back down to a normal baseline before you take off again.
Because it's considered
so I do 30, 45, because like in like 45 seconds, my heart rate normalized. So I can't do the 30-30. When I try to do the 30-30, I'm still like, my number is still up. My heart rate's still kind of up before it's time for me to go again. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's,
so I do 30, 45.
CrossFit method. I know that's a CrossFit method. So that's usually something that'll be for someone that's an endurance bodybuilder or some endurance sport. They'll do that. But trust me, they only do it once a week. They don't do that, every day or even twice if though. But the best form of HIIT is that 2-to-1 ratio. If you need longer to rest before you go all out, take it. Don't feel like you're not doing enough. Your 20 to 30 minutes is the longest you should be doing any form of HIIT.
Right.
20 to 30 minutes. A full hour is crazy. It's unrealistic too. It's very unrealistic.
Yeah, can I piggyback on that real quick?
Yes.
About the hour thing. So about 3 years ago, this is just my body type. I'm probably the only one on here with this body.
You were mesomorph.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm an extreme mesomorph. But anyway, I really, really, really love boxing. Seriously, like I love not kickboxing. I like, boxing. I like that. So I joined this gym, and they specialize. We did classes in that. So anyway, make a long story short, so I was going like at least 3 times a week. I changed my diet, all these kind of things, and we were punching like the big heavy bags every session. And I wasn't losing weight. I wasn't losing any weight. And I was like, why am I not losing weight? And I'm looking at everybody else, and they're, coming down or whatever, and I wasn't losing any. So basically what I'm saying is, I've been with different trainers for a long time. I've been to different gyms, and, like I said, that gym, I loved it. I wish I would have still been going there, but the distance wasn't, I couldn't do it. Anyway, but it wasn't until you that told me, what was going on with me.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've always done. I've always done box. I always done HIIT, all those things, but I could never lose the weight that I wanted to lose. So until, you gave me that great advice on what to do and things like that, I would have never known to stop doing it.
Why was it working? Like, girl, you're stressing your body out.
Yeah, I had no idea. No idea.
Activity is good. Good stress. Exercising is a form of good stress, but there is a such thing as overdoing it. And does help you lose body fat pretty fast, but you have to do it in a smart way, not just do it just because somebody told you that it'll help you lose weight fast. Because that's usually most of our mind frames is, oh, that's gonna help me lose this fat off my body, off my stomach really fast.
Yeah.
No, there's other factors you have to pay attention to, and stress is one of them. And you got to do it smart, not just do it because somebody told you it works. It does work, but that's the idea. So the good thing about doing HIIT is the metabolism, it speeds it up. And when I say metabolism, I'm talking about your digestive system and the way your body processes energy. And when I say energy, I mean food and how it uses it. So food is necessary because it gives you the energy to live, period, to breathe, to look, to smell, to walk, to move, to pick up things. That's what food is purposed for. Not only that, to keep your body healthy. So when you're talking about HIIT, it's good for your heart health. And it's also really good at speeding your metabolism up so that you can lose excess body fat and just kind of keep it down. But you don't have to do it every day to get the results that you want. You don't. Even 30 minutes of walking or 45 or an hour of walking is enough. And I've heard that that's actually more effective than anything, is walking. So that's a thought to do it. So try the 2-to-1 ratio instead of the 1-to-1 for now. You know, rest longer or walk longer and then run fast as you can in a shorter period of time, and then recover so you can put into motion. Oh, okay. Cool. Any other questions? I know somebody asked, what's a good pasta and sugar? I don't think she's on here, but she showed me this sweetener. Honey is a good sweetener. And then there's coconut sugar. Has anybody tried coconut sugar?
No, I haven't tried it. I want to.
Oh, no, I did see it in
I'm
Walmart.
on stevia.
Stevia is good. I just don't like the aftertaste.
Yep. I don't think the one I'm using is good. It's the stevia and the raw. I just was reading something. I think it got dextrose in it. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, dextrose.
Yeah, I know. No. Can't get rid of it, but it tastes so good. It tastes.
It's funny. But the best pasta to have, if you're going to have it, spaghetti squash. Have whatever spaghetti sauce, or she's like, no, you know it's good. You just
no, it's good. I promise you, it's good because I eat it. I make it all the time, but it is not pasta, people, and it is not gonna quench that pasta thirst. It just don't.
I had a whole
pasta eaters.
Spaghetti squash.
I don't know.
I only ate one piece. I cut it in fours. Only ate one and threw the rest away. I was like, no.
You didn't like? I love spaghetti squash. There's also sweet potato noodles. Like you can go to places and they have like the vegetables cut to look or it mimic noodles. That's another way you can do it too. So if you like sweet potato, go for that. She's like, no. Squash. There's zucchini. Like those are.
I love zucchini. I eat zucchini almost every day.
Yeah. Quinoa and rice can kind of fill that void of not having pasta.
But isn't rice plastic?
Certain rices are plastic. Yes.
Name them, please.
White rice that doesn't say jasmine or basmati.
Okay, good. Because I only
balsamic.
Jasmine rice. So
balsamic,
good.
Basmati, jasmine.
Basmati. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm good.
If you just say rice, just like overpass it. Look for brown rice. Look for quinoa, couscous, jasmine rice, basmati rice. Yeah.
Okay, good. See, those all the rice. I eat all those rice.
Yeah,
that's good.
You put your.
What about long grain?
If you want to. What you say, Latrice?
What about long grain? Because I is that a bad form of it? I
don't think that's a rice. I think it's a grain, and that's what makes it healthier.
Okay.
Kind of interesting. Like I have to look a little bit more into that because I have been seeing like what's the difference between grain, because I'm looking at bread as opposed to sprouted grains and things like that. Like, what's the difference? And
Yeah, they say long grain rice, and you're like, well, what type of rice is that?
Yeah. Is that a rice or a grain? Which one is it? So
They got a short
grain. So, but they're the closest that you can have to pasta and feel a little less plasticky. We'll just say that.
Okay.
Feeling like that.
Okay.
Sugars, I'm always going to say honey is a form of sweetener. We already know fruits are good forms of sweeteners, but they do have some alternatives like stevia. There's coconut sugars and things like that. And that's at your own risk, but just avoid white sugar at all costs because that's cocaine.
Did anybody try the monk fruit?
Yeah, she's not on here, but she showed us that. I went and got it too. So
is it good?
It reminds me of stevia and it has that aftertaste, but it is better than the liquid stevia that I used.
Okay. See, the liquid stevia, I had to stop using it. That aftertaste was too strong.
Yeah,
it's much stronger than with the powder. And I think that's how I got trapped into the stevia and the raw, because it's so much, the taste is good. It doesn't have that aftertaste.
Right.
But I think the dextrose is masking it. So I think it's more dextrose than actually stevia.
No. Keep that a further, please.
Cool. Everybody's good? Cool. And chocolate. Leave the white chocolate alone. You've learned.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate is your best option.
What percentage?
It tastes burnt.
It does. Yes, it does.
I can't eat it. It tastes burnt.
Chocolate.
I'm at 80%, 75%.
Yeah, when it gets that, yeah. But dark chocolate is actually a lot better for you. But milk chocolate, it's still a form of a dairy product, but it has cocoa in it. So, like, just at your own risk. It shouldn't be something you eat every day, but I don't think it's something that you should feel like you have to completely avoid it out of your life.
Okay, what about the cocoa powder? Because I prefer to use the powder, the powder.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay, because dark chocolate tastes burnt. I'm not.
You don't like it, it's burnt.
Yeah, it's not good.
It does, but I love it. I guess that's the only bad aftertaste I like.
Oh no.
Because it has a bad aftertaste to me.
Yeah, it tastes burnt.
Burnt. It does. So these are your 5 reminders. You got to reduce your stress. If you can't control it, change the way you think about it. Please get more sleep. Go to bed and wake up. Try to do this at the same time every day, even if it's a weekend where you don't have to do anything like work or anything like that. Try to get your body on a time clock. Our bodies are made to be on a time clock. They're made that way, purposefully. The earth is made that way, purposefully, for us to know when to go to sleep and when to wake up. But create your own based off your own lifestyle. You need at least 7 to 8 hours. I think they say the older you get, the less sleep you need, but
that's true.
That's true.
Yeah, because I'm waking up like at least twice in the middle of the night going to the restroom.
All that watermelon.
It's that water. I was about to say that. It's that watermelon.
Right.
That's all right. You gotta get up to go to the bathroom. But
leave the melon alone.
But try that.
I'm going to get 2 today.
Try that pattern. If you're having a hard time staying asleep, other than having to get up and go to the bathroom, our bodies naturally need to do that. So your body's in 2-hour increments of sleep. That's the God honest truth. It's 2 hours.
I think my bladder dead because I could drink a whole gallon of water. I sleep all the way through the night. I don't never get up.
Try a dark, cool room. Make sure your room is dark and cool. Yes. Melatonin or some sleepy time tea will help you if you can't get back to sleep. Like, that makes you go to the bathroom anyway. Time restricted eating. The simplest way to say that is only eat when you're hungry, and only eat when you're during your active periods.
Like, don't eat plastic.
Yeah, don't eat plastic.
Or mucus or pus.
You guys are going to remember that forever.
Which one was? No, I didn't forget it already.
because you don't want to remember it's cheese and it's dairy.
But yeah, pay attention to the foods that are.
No, but listen, y'all. I actually been coming away from the shredded cheese. I don't eat that anymore because of the powder that's on it.
Powder and
You know, so they say that's poisoning your body because it, you know, it's bad. So I don't do shredded no more. But them blocks, I be on it.
Leave those blocks alone. You getting pus and mucus.
I think
I know, right? Oh God. I'm finna look for that. I'm finna research that.
Yes.
That's so gross.
It's an actual document. It's on it. And blood is another one.
it's blood.
Oh, wow.
That there's traces of blood in there too.
No,
And
don't do
cheese?
that.
That's
It's
what
the
chocolate
truth.
milk is.
Oh, okay.
That's
All
what
right.
chocolate milk is.
See
And
that?
then
Oh, wow. I don't drink
They
chocolate
put a
milk.
coloring in it to hide it because they can't get rid of it. So when it's being processed and you see it as white, it's
Think
being
I'm gonna be sick.
yes,
Right, I agree.
processed. So, but I mean,
Chocolate milk got
even
blood
looking
in
at
it?
the whole process system, it's not just that. Just think of the way things are made. Go back to how things are there's just rules that we don't even really pay attention to. Babies don't supposed to drink cow milk. They're supposed to drink woman milk.
Human. Yeah.
Human.
So yeah. Oh.
Cows don't drink our milk.
No.
So it's just like that. What is the purpose of it? Does it actually provide nutrients to your body, or is it supposed to provide nutrients to something else?
No, it was actually a good form of marketing. That was a big marketing scheme.
Yeah, talking about healthy bones and muscles, and it's like that's the cause of osteoporosis.
Yeah, milk messed me up. So I haven't drank milk in like 3 years. So I don't deal with milk. But I eat the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep saying that, but I will stop. I don't know how.
You'll ever get, I'll say the safest you'll ever get to dealing with dairy in a sense is whey isolate, but even some people are intolerant to that. But because the way it's processed and it's pulling the right proteins from that, some people don't have a problem with whey protein.
Now you want to know something? I done tried all these expensive powders with different type of whey isolates. Do you want to know the one powder that didn't bother me came from Walmart? And that was when I first started out using protein powders. It never bloated me. It didn't upset my stomach, but everybody said it was like trash. I forgot the name of it.
Is it Quest?
No, it's not Quest. God, what is the name of that? It's in the orange and black jug.
Is it Beyond?
No, it's not Beyond. It's in Walmart, and it's like it's always displayed back there in they little fitness, not in the fitness section, but in the by the pharmacy.
Yeah.
With all the milk supplements and stuff. And it never bothered me, but everybody says it wasn't good. It wasn't good for Fortress. I think that was the name of it.
Oh, Fortress. Oh my God. Why was people saying that? That was one of the best brands out there.
I promise you that never bothered me. And I'm thinking about just going back and buying that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
when I started my weight loss journey, I was using Fortress.
Yeah, it never bothered me. The whey isolate that they had, it was perfect. It never upset my stomach. It always tasted good. I never had a problem. It's like when I started trying to step my game up, it just threw me off.
Yeah.
So
another one that they sometimes say is not good or is trash is Quest, and that's actually a product that was created by a woman.
Oh, okay.
That was
That's probably why they trashed it.
Yeah,
Body Fortress. That was the name of
it.
it.
Body Fortress. Yeah, that was a really good whey Yeah, you're right. That one I never really had problems with that one either.
Yeah, I did.
Until I started trying all this other stuff, and I was like, no, this is not working. This is way too much whey in it. But that's the only closest I can say as far as dairy is, because whey is a byproduct of dairy in a sense, or from animal product, we'll say that. So that's the only safest I can say because of how they're processing it. So, and science, there are some forms of science, and how it's done is, it's okay. But yeah. So any other questions? Do we have questions or are we good? Because I'm ready to.
I'm good.
We've been on here for almost 2 hours.
Yeah. And I gotta rinse this dye on my head for my forehead be permanently black. That ain't gonna be
So that
right,
means
y'all.
next week, what am I doing? So I won't be we won't be doing our live coaching next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the next live coaching would probably be in June. Because this weekend coming up, I'm teaching some courses for the weekend, and it's from like 9 to 5. So if I go any later, for some of you, that might drive you insane, like 6 o'clock. I probably wouldn't even be able to do it. So I don't think I'll be on live then. I may be live on YouTube, but this type of session I'm trying to keep as often as possible for you guys to keep you motivated and keep you going. I know you guys are doing it in the GroupMe app. So probably the next live like this will probably not be until the 8th of June.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
because I'll be gone like the first week. Yeah, I'll be gone the first week of June, but I'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't be until the 8th of June. So other than that, we just
Awesome.
going to try to stay as communicative as possible as we can through the GroupMe app, because these 2 weeks is the adjusting area. This is the adjusting moment, and then June 1st starts off your this is the next level we're going to, and you guys will see.
Man, and my job is sending me to Texas for 38 days.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What part of Texas?
Brownsville.
Brownsville.
Yeah. Right there by the border. I already asked my boss, was he trying to get rid of me?
You probably know you can handle the people down there. That's probably what it is. Like she can handle them. So yeah.
Well, just look at it as a way, kind of like a de-stressor for yourself. You're gonna be working, but once you get back to your hotel, you'll have you time. You don't have anybody pulling on you, no dogs, no kid, no husband. Yeah, take a good book, take your stretching bands, some dark chocolate. Stay away from your watermelon. Yeah, there you go. Go get your nice watermelon. Okay, yeah.
Or just in the GroupMe app.
Look,
GroupMe app, like y'all.
Look, Vanessa, get this.
Oh, the doctor. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got that upstairs. I got a big bag.
Yep, take it with you.
I love it.
Just soak and relax.
Yes.
Hotel and they even have it. Yeah, they even have it in like different scents, don't they?
Lavender.
Yeah, because that's rosemary and something. Yeah, it's rosemary and mint.
Yep.
All right then, y'all.
Yeah.
So did everybody get what they needed? That you're good for the next 2 weeks? Because I know I got to get back on here and answer a few people sending in pictures and stuff. So I want to make sure I've answered everyone.
I'll be sending